Hello everyone, I am Melinda NailFanatic and it is now nearly 2 a.m. on December 4th, 2016. And so this was a very beautiful December 3rd, which technically I've already given you the day and time, but it's still Saturday for me because I haven't gone to sleep yet. It won't be actually in my world, in my perception, the next day until I wake up. But I can't go to sleep because I have this message in me that I have to share with you. With whoever finds this, whenever you find this message is for you. And to help you understand. So many of us say everything happens for a reason. I believe that everything happens for a reason. And so many of us who say that will still at the same time talk about some horrible tragedy that they had to deal with, something that happened to them, something that changed their life, that happened to them, and that's why things are the way they are now. And if you believe everything happens for a reason, well, then you have to understand that even that one thing that has really changed everything in your life and been so difficult, it's been let me tell you, if you are watching this video, and I'm sure it's true for every human, so I can very extremely confidently say there is something that you have gone through that has caused you so much internal pain and mental anguish that sometimes you might even say, well, it's because that happened to me, and so that's why my life is this way that I don't like. Or that's why I believe this that doesn't suit me well. Or that's why I have a hard time with this area of life. Because of that one major turn point event for you. And so you are so powerful as the child, the creation, the progeny of the creator of all that ever is, was, would be, or could be. That when you say, this is the tragedy of my life, and because of that tragedy of my life, then my life is negatively affected this way. And so now I have money problems, problems holding a job, problems feeling confident, problems with my interpersonal relationships, problems with my family. You can rattle off a list of whatever is your problem that you're having because of that fucked up thing that you went through. But if everything is happening for a reason, well, what's the reason? As the child of the creator of all that ever is, was, would be, or could be, would he really, he, she, it, love source God, that divine energy, would that ever give you something that was not for your highest, lightest, and brightest good? Do you believe that you would give your child something that was not for their highest, lightest, and brightest good? If you're attracted to watch this video, I would suggest that you're probably saying, yeah, right, I would only give the best of everything. What if all things were yours to give? Then all things would be available to that beautiful child of yours that you love so much. And that's exactly who and what you are, to the creator of all that ever is, was, would be, or could be. And so we have the power to transmute the energy of a perceived negative circumstance happening and experience in our life into a blessing. From a tragedy, it can become a blessing if we bless it. So how do you do that? How do you take the suicide of your loved one and take it from being the tragedy that caused you to lose faith in God, lose faith in humanity, be insecure in your relationships, develop a uncontrollable rage. How can you take something like that and transmute its energy? Well, I'm going to quickly, as briefly as possible, share with you how I did that. Because when I was 15 and a half, I watched my father burn to death. He committed suicide outside of my high school. He set himself on fire. And so for me, December 3rd, starting in 1992, became a tragic day. And I'll tell you, I relived that tragedy every year. I would go through this horrible emotional state because of the tortured memories of watching my father burn to death. Now, this is 23 years, the anniversary now. And prior to this year's anniversary, I just got into the headspace of everything is a blessing to me. Even the difficulties I've had to live, the times of isolation, the times of abandonment, the times of being teased and bullied, the times of being unaccepted, the times when I've been mean, the times when I've been nice, my mother's death when I was 29, and my father's suicide when I was 15. They're all blessings. Now it's up to me to figure out how that's true. So I began to really think about it. How is it that my father's suicide at 15 years old could be called a blessing? Well, I'll tell you what. My father wasn't around to stick up for me anymore, and he was so good at it. God, I loved it for that. I knew as long as my dad was around, anybody mess with me, you was about to get it. And if you didn't get it, your dad was going to get it, because my dad would kick your dad's ass. Well, dad wasn't around anymore. So I got to learn how to stand up for myself. That's a wonderful thing. Now I don't feel like I need anybody to take care of me, because I know I can take care of myself. Where else were the blessings in that? Well, I learned how to deal with a lot of negative emotions. I learned that I could survive anything, and that no matter who was taken away from my life, I would always be fine on my own. I learned that the love of family is very, very important to me. I learned what a privilege it is to be alive with your children. I learned what a privilege it is that I get to be around grandchildren. My father never got to see a single one of his grandchildren. I have 2 already. I'm so blessed and lucky, you know? And I've gotten to watch my daughter grow up into a beautiful person. And because I felt the anguish of losing my father, it made me appreciate being my daughter's mother that much more. And I'm sure there are a slew of other reasons that aren't just coming to my mind right now, because it's not for me to give you all of my reasons. This is just a quick example of how you can transmute the energy in your life of the tragedy. And so here's the thing. Love Source God is constantly paying attention to your thoughts and your feelings about your life. When you say, this is so hard, Love Source God says, you're right, my child. You're always right. I give you everything you believe. So here's some more hard. When you say, this is a horrible tragedy, this is a horrible day, Love Source God always says, yes, my child, you can have whatever you believe. So here's another horrible day. December 3rd, for so long for me, was a memory of a tragedy. And this year, I remember I was watching a movie called Miracles from Heaven. My daughter could not stop laughing at me. She just laughed. Mom, why are you crying? Because I was crying during the middle of this movie. There's a moment, and when the girl, I'm sure if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. The girl ends up in the tree. Well, I was having a spiritual moment. I'm having a conversation with God at the time, and I'm realizing that I'm grateful because all those things I went through made me who I am, to be able to be the provider, the mother of this family, the one who is able to get through anything and be able to speak to people and help people, and I've helped so many people from all of the things that I've been through dealing with death. And I called it a blessing. I actually took time and said, thank you that I lived through my father's suicide. And I thank me that I lived through my father's suicide. And thank you that I lost my mother to sarcoma cancer when I was 29 years old. And thank me for getting through that. Because of all of these things, I am a stronger, more decisive, more knowing, more overstanding human being who is able to relate to more people and help them navigate energy that they have yet their first experience with, because I've been through this. And so what I'm saying to you is, as the powerful child of the creator of all that ever is, was, would be, or could be, when you decide that is a blessing for you, not a tragedy, not the fucked up thing in your life, and you are not a victim, but you are the blessed child of all that ever is, was, would be, and could be. And so by extension, you also are so powerful that when you decide that that is a blessing in your life, it must show itself to you as a blessing, because love source God only says, yes, my child, whatever you want, you can have it, because all things are mine, so then all things are yours. So this year, I loved my December 3rd. I started my day off with an engagement party. I have this beautiful lady in my life, and she has amazing family, and her son got engaged. So I got to go to her house and meet her family and spend time at her son's engagement party. I had the best conversations, had some delicious food, and there was a toast every hour on the hour to congratulate them. It was so beautiful. From there, where do I get to go? To my little sisters-in-law's baby shower. So I'm surrounded by people that I love. Got to have great conversations, some more delicious food, great times, beautiful day. This December 3rd is the best December 3rd it has ever been, because I blessed it. I took the power from that day and transmuted it from a tragedy to a blessing. And now it physically manifested for me as a blessing. This day was such a blessing because it's the first time I remember a December 3rd where every single human being I contacted that day was in party mode. Everybody was all about celebration all day long. It has been filled with there's been music, dancing, laughs, jokes, fun, drinks, food, games, prizes. Oh my God, it's been absolutely amazing. And I want you, if you want it for yourself, to experience the power of finding your blessings in your most challenging experiences. That one thing that makes everything hard today, that happened years ago, how can you change it? By becoming the biggest and best investigator of your blessings. Where are the blessings in it? They are there. Find it. Stop feeling bad for yourself. Stop playing the victim. Bless your life. And then you'll live the blessings. And you'll see those experiences. And it could be nothing more than what you call it. Because Love Source God will always say, yes, my beloved child, you can have anything you want. You're right. Because you are right. Choose to be right and let it be blessed. That's your power. It's all of our power. And I love it in me. And I love it in you. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch these words. Love, peace, and happiness to you and yours. and of course me and mine. Until next time.